Good morning. Guess what, people? I got a new computer. This means that I could share sound. I could play some YouTube. It's so exciting. But that's kind of my jam for the first 2 weeks of 2026. What are we in 26? I don't even have brown eyes, but Kim Barrows, this just feels like, now you got brown. It's like Dancy. I really like it. All right, you guys, this call is meant to be very interactive, especially because of the topic today, which is landing appointments. We are salespeople, and salespeople make sales in appointments. Yes or no? Like pure and simple. Um, when I got started in mortgage, we didn't have chat, we didn't have Google. I mean, we did have email. Okay. So, so what's happening is often we are literally getting stuck behind a screen or on our desk, and we're not even dialing the phone. Like we're even weird about just calling people. How many of you guys sometimes just question, even calling like a friend or a family member, like, could I just drop in and call them right now? How many of you guys feel this way? Like we're living in a weird world where we feel like we need to text somebody first to be like, would it maybe kind of be okay if I call you right now? It's weird. And I'm telling you, in this AI driven world that we're in and the pace of life moving really, really fast and living in a screen, the impact that you can make when you actually slow people down for a face to face or actually get on the phone for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes is profound. You want to know why? That might be the only phone call that somebody has today. They might respond to 200 text messages. They might look at 200 reels today, but an actual phone call, voice to voice with human connection is rare. So, this is why we've got to be the people to initiate and make that happen because it's becoming just more out of place for people. We have this perception that we're so busy, but how many of you guys have realized like online shopping is less efficient than actually going in and shopping? Does anybody realize this yet? Like I will always think it's more efficient. What about like booking something? I was on with American Airlines the other day because I had to book 2 tickets under 15 years old and whatever. And I'm like, oh, I gotta get on the phone. I looked at the time, it was 7 minutes from start to finish, and the thing was booked and done. If I was on their website going back and forth, and then where was the mistake and where's the edit? Like there's a perception that things are faster and more efficient when reality, I can get on the phone with somebody and we can handle amazing amount of things in 2.5 minutes. Would you guys all agree? So the commitment this year is to old school, pick up the phone, have a face to face, be bold and get on FaceTime. How much different is it when we get on FaceTime with somebody versus when we're on the phone with somebody, right? And then finally, when we're on the phone with people, be present. How many of you are guilty like me that you could be on the phone, you throw it on speaker, you're on speakerphone, and you're like literally scrolling Instagram or you're playing 24/48 or you're like answering an email? Honestly, raise your hand if that is you. What is wrong with us? What is freaking wrong with us, right? We are on the phone with another human being. How do we make them feel? Kevin's saying it's ADHD. It sure it is, but it's behavior, it's patterns, it's what we've allowed ourselves to kind of get comfortable with. So this group, my group, what I'm hoping for every one of us is to be present because your presence is the gift. It really is. How many of you guys have been to a few doctor's appointments over the last 12 months? Isn't it a massive difference between the person who really sits with you and you can tell they're really tuned in, they're thoughtfully thinking about, they're asking that extra 3 or 4 questions? Is that not just an amazing wow difference? And was it like an extra 20 minutes they spent with you, or was it an extra 4 minutes that made the difference? I don't know about you guys, but like 4 minutes is it, right? So, this is who we want to be in sales, pure and simple. Okay. We want to go back to the stuff that is about relationships. It's about connection. It's about like, did we go somewhere with somebody? Otherwise, we are wasting our time. We are not looking to be efficient. We are looking to be effective. Write that down. I want to be effective. Otherwise, I'm just hit and running people. Like, otherwise, my life is just a blur. I'm just existing. I didn't stand out. I didn't like cause any change in somebody. Okay. So I will stay on the phone as long as I have to in order for it to be effective because I don't want to have to get on the phone again and again and again and again and again with these little micro touches that don't make a difference. I'd rather sit in this coffee appointment for 70 minutes and really go somewhere than like rush it in 40. Okay. Now I'm not saying give 2 hours. I'm not saying go to open house for 3 hours. That to me would drive me bananas. Bananas. But like let's get somewhere. Let's really find out how we can get in here. Okay, so I want to give you an exercise. If you've been doing the best year ever, you're in Catalyst, like many of you are, you've set your goals. Okay. I've got everybody putting them on the board with my win the week sheet. Okay. And this then is translating into my Catalyst sales attack book. So you know how many face-to-faces, how many effective partner talk tos, and what your 4 strategies are that work for you to drive business. Okay. Like this is kind of the year-end planning that we got to this point. But the one thing I have not guided y'all in yet is where your lead's going to come from. Okay. So to give you the quick and dirty math, if you want to close 10 loans a month, you need 10 leads a week. Okay. Very simple. You want 10 loans, 10 leads a week. So my question is, where are they going to come from? Because when you think about, I need to have appointments, then you have to go, well, who? Who am I going to have appointments with? And your who is going to depend on where you want your referrals to come from. You all follow me? Okay. So the first bucket of referrals is going to be your sphere. So first is past clients. Write it down. Second is past client referrals. Third is current client referrals. And fourth is friends and family. Okay, so that's kind of a whole bucket there, but your strategy for each of those is going to be a tad bit different. Now, the next category is going to be referral partners. All right, Ashley asked for me to clarify that one more time. Okay, so again, in the first bucket, we're talking about past clients, past client referrals, current client referrals, friends and family. And that bucket I would classify as sphere. These are people who already know you and trust you, okay? And think of you and refer you or come back to you and work with you again. Thank you, Laura. All right, the next bucket is referral partners. Obviously, real estate agents being number one. But then second could be builders. And third could be any other business professional. Attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, wedding planners, anyone. A large employer with employees, a school district, fire department. Okay. The third bucket could be other. Other might be your advertising. Do you run ads? Do you do social media? Are you on any boards? Do you do community events? Anything that you're going to commit to consistently. Okay. So right now is a really valuable time to be talking about past clients. Okay. Because past clients rates have come down a bit, right? So real quick, I'd like you to come off mute. If you've been successful in putting together refis in the last 10 days, where are you finding those? Are you finding those from people who had low LTV? Are you finding those from people who are 6 months old and they're just out of their EPO period? Are you finding people on streamlines? Where are you having success putting together refis? I'd love you to put your hand in the air and I'll call on you. There's a little react button at the bottom. There's a little raise your hand there. I saw Brian Swanson, you raised your real hand. I'll go for you first, bud. Uh-oh. Your microphone isn't working, Brian.
How about now?
Yeah, beautiful. We hear you.
We made it. I locked in a couple of them on past clients that didn't make a decision the last time.
Okay.
So they, by the time they made a decision, it was too late. So they were right on my list and called them, and they both jumped on it right away.
Awesome. And did you land an appointment or was the appointment a phone appointment? Tell me about the appointment that led to the sale.
So I just put together an email format. Actually, ChatGPT kind of helped me. I did a comparison of where they're at now and to what it could be. I structured it as a no closing cost refi, and then had a quick tidbit in there on, we're doing this in order to maximize the amount of financial gain right now. And then if rates continue to drop, we'll have the opportunity to do that again in the future instead of doing a full refinance twice.
Awesome. So did you sell those exclusively over email or did you get them on the phone with you? Did you do a Zoom? What did you do?
Well, those two I was able to do over email and text.
Okay.
And that's only because I'd had enough phone conversations prior the last time that they knew where we were going and what we were doing. And when rates did go up and we didn't have them have their decision done, they were bought in, ready to go. So we hit that target rate.
Fantastic. Okay. What I would venture to say, Brian, is it might be hard to be as memorable if you don't ever get the face-to-face. So what I would say to all of you is fight for the face-to-face. Yes, when you're in a refi boom, you have to use templates and you have to just fire out a lot of data, especially when these refi windows lately have been like 3 days and all of a sudden we lose it again, right? Because of some tariff conversation or jobs report or whatever. It's been kind of a nightmare in this regard. But what I would also say is how much time do we go back and forth with people over text and email only for them to say, I'll wait, right? So if your process in your business is to say, great, let's meet for a 15-minute meeting, and you have Calendly set up and you have 15-minute windows blocked with a 10-minute buffer on each side, and you let them book it, that might be more effective because do you want to be somebody that is just a responder to email? Is that the professional career you want to have? Anybody? Anybody want to win awards for the fastest, best emailer on the planet? No, we want to be seen as an advisor, right? So somebody could say, oh, well, I might miss it because they won't get on a call. And that will keep you in a scarcity loop forever. Okay. You have to decide on the way you're going to do business. So if you say, I do business by advising people face to face, then that's a really powerful way to do it. Because Brian, the last time they missed it, we went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It might have been a timing thing, but had you gotten face to face with them and had the email template in front of them and walk them through it and watch their body language, might you have a better chance to convert them and or see that this was a waste of time. They were really not going to move.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? So the reason we don't book these as face-to-faces is because we think they're a quick email. Next time you just think it's a quick email, turn on your timer and see how long you waste in your email. Okay? I want you guys to start paying attention to effective versus efficient because it's all of these perception things that we think are going to be there. So I'm going to go to Katie Stocker. You had your hand in the air. Where are you finding success with past clients?
Yes. So for like the last 6 months, I've pretty much anyone who's over a 6%, I've tried to get a 30-minute Zoom on the calendar and we've gone through and most of them, it wasn't time when we've done it and we pick the rate that they're ready to jump on. And then from there, it's, hey, we got the rate. I locked it for you. Let's hop on a Zoom again and confirm that it's done. so many of mine are first time home buyers that refinancing, like they don't even understand it. And there's so many different moving parts that it's a really slow 30 minute conversations of like really going through. But when I call them, like there's no second guessing after it because we have the trust of having had their purchase and then those two really good conversations that are very slow and understand what they're signing up for.
It's fantastic. And the thing I want you to hear from what Katie said is slow equals fast. When you take your time up front, you can move really fast after that. Meaning, if you've gone deep and really educated them and the trust is really there, you can move somebody along. If you try to go fast in the beginning, you're going to stay shallow all the way along. Your trust is not really built. The other thing, Katie, is I gotta believe, and I really want you to track this year, your PCRs, past client referrals. Because how do you want people to refer you? Do you want them to say, oh, just send them an email? They're really great over email. No one does that. That's like, that sucks, right? But if you say, oh, Brian's going to meet with you, or Katie will spend a half hour really explaining how this works, you will feel so confident knowing how you're going to get it done. That's how you earn the referral, is by that exact meeting. The meeting will actually cause you more referrals. So, Katie, at the time you were meeting with all these people and it wasn't the right time and you were determining the strike rate, did you feel like you were just wasting a bunch of time? Were you frustrated? How did that feel?
No, I don't think I thought I was wasting time, but I think at the end of last year when I did like my business review, I realized for the first time, like I've now been in the business 5 years, and last year was the first time that I'm like, oh, all these deep trust and relationships is finally paying off. Like one in every four of my referrals last year came from a past or current client. And I thought in my head before I did the numbers that it was like 1 in 10. So I feel like now I have this like renewed, better attitude about all those conversations. Someone texted me last night and asked me what their personal number was, and I'm like, I'm just going to tell you because I want you to keep thinking that I'm the expert, even though I have nothing to do with what your personal number is. But I like have a renewed sense of like, okay, all of this really is paying off.
It does compound. People do remember you. One person knows 100 more people. That's what you have to trust. And if I really make the impact in this in person, face to face, who remembers their Quicken Rocket Mortgage email person that was super fast over email? Anyone? No, we just don't. If we're going to win against AI, we have to be the local person that meets with people locally. Like that's a differentiator. So, Katie, one other question is you're having these meetings during the strike meeting versus during the lock meeting or the explanation. Are you somehow finding a way to ask for more referrals and or referrals for your real estate agent?
No. I mean, I do at the very beginning. I'm like, do you still like your house? Like that's the first question is like, how much longer are you thinking? So there has been some of like, oh, reach out to your agent to ask that. I need to be better about being like, hey, if you know anyone else who bought around the same time as you, even if I didn't do their mortgage, I would love to help them. I've asked that once, but I've had like 30 meetings, so I really need to get better at that.
So, you're going to take a sticky and put it on your monitor today. And the question is not, do you know anybody? It's who do you know? And then be as specific as you can. So, Katie, if you know they work at a big company, who else do you know that works at, ABC Printing that bought in 2025? The brain can come up with a specific. Or who do you know that bought a house this summer when you bought a house? Like what I'm finding is loan officers do not take the time to do this kind of education and really watch their clients' backs. That's a differentiator for me. Would you be willing to do a three-way text to introduce me?
Love
Okay.
it.
So who did you guys all get that? Who do you know? So if you put this on a sticky, Katie, and all of a sudden you do it in the next 10 meetings, it will start becoming just so natural you won't even have to think about it anymore because it's coming from a really genuine place. All right, Anna, who are you finding success with on the past client side in the last 2 weeks?
I have been using obviously the refi list, so highest rates looking in. I check it out to see how much I can save them. I sent, I think, 15 email messages over the weekend, giving recaps of what I think I could save them or what percentage of savings by rate, like if it's 1%, 2%, or $100, $200. A couple of them, I actually went and did a mortgage coach straight in, sent the email. Out of the 15, I've had 5 responses. I have done the mortgage coach on all 5. In the mortgage coach, I do a video. So I have a standard video, but I've been going in and doing a personalized video because I'm giving if it's a streamline, your cost. If you want to do So I have actually up to 4 options that okay, you're going to skip a payment. Here's the option. If you skip one, bring a payment in. Here's the option. If we roll all the fees in, here's the option, So I have one that we are pretty much in full bloom. We're waiting on some income information. The person had changed jobs and they're having trouble. Everybody else, I actually have a call right after this. We're going to talk the possibility of saving $300 a month. And so I have a video chat with that couple at right after this call today to see if they're going to be interested in moving forward and how do they want to go forward. So I think the video part of Mortgage Coach helps a lot. It's very personalized and the reactions are really, really pretty good. If I don't get a response on the other 10, I'm going to be going in and doing mortgage coaches on every one of them and following up again.
So a potential bold move, Anna, on Saturday morning, instead of going to the data and hiding behind your screen and spending as much time as you do on each one of those, would be to send a selfie video saying, hey, it's Saturday and I am coming into the office and I'm going to dive into your loan. And here's why. Here's what's gone on with the rates. Here's what I think is going to be helpful. Listen, hit me back immediately if you're not planning on living in this house for more than 2 years. Because if you're not going to live in this house for more than 2 years, you got to keep the existing loan you're in and do not refi. But if you're going to be there longer than 2 years, please write me back and say, yes, work up numbers for me, please. Right?
I love it.
Even if they don't respond, you got a touch. They're going to look at your email differently. B, if they respond and say, no, we're not interested, or we're already doing a refi or whatever, you saved yourself the time. And I always think about, again, being effective. What's the best likelihood of me wowing them to earn the next referral and for them to be willing to get on the phone? So what I would do, Anna, is if they write back and say, yes, please work up numbers, go, I will have that done probably today, but would you jump on my calendar for 15 minutes? Because I'll just go over it with you for 15 minutes.
Okay.
Again, here's why you go for the appointment, everybody, is if they lean in, you lean in. If they lean in, you lean in. So Anna, what you're doing is you're leaning all the way in. You're doing the work, you're doing the email, you're doing the TCA, you're doing the video. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Rather than saying, hey, would this be valuable to you? I'm on it. I'm in it. And then you would have had 4 appointments with people and your likelihood of
get the
closing
buy-in first. I love that.
That's what I would do.
I love it.
If I'm pricing out like 17 streamlines, I'm going to but I'm not going to give them 4 options in a video, whatever. I'm just going to say, hey, the government has a program that allows you to refinance. It's called a streamline. No credit, no income, no assets, no appraisal. And the goal is for no money out of pocket. You're literally going to bring in your payment to title instead of making the payment to Guild Mortgage, and I can drop your rate. So this is like the best, but hopefully you've talked about this when you put them in a loan at the beginning to say, hey, just so you know, this is an option for you with this loan. It's a super cool feature. And I'm going to be watching it really, really closely. And you'll know when I'm up your butt calling you, like you've qualified, it might be the right time to take care of it.
Right.
So
no, thank you. I really appreciate that. You
guys, doing a face-to-face Zoom instead of a TCA video, it's the same thing, but you get to watch their reaction, don't you? Right. You get to control the conversation. You didn't do all this work for somebody who might not even open your email, which that's just how it goes. Now, if somebody was like, oh, that's so nice that you're willing to make an appointment for me, but I'm too busy, can you send me an email? Then I would do the TCA for them, but always go for the appointment first.
Okay.
Okay. You want them to commit their time to you. It's really helpful.
Perfect.
Daniel, where have you been having success with past clients?
So I've been a lot of Govy loans. I'm seeing obviously as rates come down, they're like you said, the streamline side of things. Kind of the strategy that I've been deploying with it is getting him on the phone, calling him, talking about, hey, I think we can save you a couple $100 or whatever the payment difference looks like on it, and then schedule a Zoom meeting to go over the TCA that I put together in person as or via Zoom as opposed to just sending the link to them and letting them look through it. Give them just enough information to kind of tease it to where it's like, okay, you have to make this appointment. If it's like you said, if they're not willing to buy in, then I'm not going to waste my time to go that route with it.
Awesome. What you guys need to say always with any refinances is like, look, probably 7 out of 10 times I talk to a family about refinancing, it's not worth it. And here's why. The cost to do it versus the savings does not pay off fast enough to make sense.
Hmm.
So I will dive in and do the numbers, but we won't even get on the phone unless I really think this is a good idea for you, because I'll be the first to tell you, not a good time. Does that make sense? I
Hmm.
love what Katie's doing and saying, we're going to get on the call because I'm going to educate you and we're going to find out when it is worth it for you so that when it hits, I'm just going to lock it and go. Right. And again, if they give me their time, I will give them my time, but not over email, not over text, not over late night text, not over email, because they have no idea the work that we go through from a simple question they ask. Yes or no? Like, sit here and watch me open up all these screens and put together the payment and blah, 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 blah. And then you'll be like, damn, this is amazing. Thank you for all the work that you're doing. But I don't ever want to work in the dark. Do you guys? No, I promise most of you do. You're not good at ringing your own bell. They have no idea how hard you're killing yourself for what it is. So you got to intentionally show people what you're doing so that they're wowed. Okay. And if you could do it live with your screen share and moving things all around, that's really, really helpful. All right, Jules, and then we'll move on to realtors.
So what has really helped, let me put this other camera on real quick here. Sorry, I had to jump in on two because, okay, you guys can see me up there.
We
Anyways,
hear you and see you. We're good.
okay, perfect. So, so what I realized is I needed to get in touch with my past clients for the last year and the year before. What has been extremely effective is I used text. I used also AI, Chat GPT, to put a very short text that was conversational with the goal being I want them to schedule a call and I about their target rate. So once I did that, I can tell you I got 20 scheduled calls that way. And I started out giving them a choice. What time and day could you be available? Or would you like me to send you my calendar? A large majority of them, I sent them the Calendly link. So great, 15-minute call. That's all we need to figure out your target rate. And then my goal was getting them on the phone. I also use ChatGPT to give me a high level 15-minute script for that call. It's very smooth. It told them, frame the call. Here's why we're doing this. We're going to make sure we're aligned. You know exactly where your target rate is. At a very high level, use the TCA. Here's where you are. Here's where you need to be. Here's what we're waiting for. Gave them a market update on why I think where rates are going to be this year based on what's happening. And then I got their buy-in. And that I just need to know that you're committed. When I say it's go time, you're ready to go. We'll get you into the system. We'll lock, based on what's happening in the market. And 100% of them said, yes, thank you for the call. This is great. Now they knew. And it was a low cost or a no cost option that we're waiting for. And then lastly, thank you for that little tidbit. I just added in asking for I do it sometimes, but I needed to add that to my script about asking, for the referral.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Jayla, can I say one thing about that? Something else
Yes,
that
Katie.
I have been saying, once they lock it, I feel like people they are so scared that tomorrow rates are going to drop 0.5% that I will also add to my script like, hey, refinances are low stakes. If something does happen and rates fall tomorrow, we can 100% cancel and restart it up. obviously never happened, but I feel like that also brings people's guard down a lot too.
I also talk in phases. We're going to do this in phases. If it doesn't cost you anything or it's a low cost to recoup, it's free money in your pocket after the recoup cost. And we'll do this again when it makes sense. So I'm talking and preparing them that this isn't a one-time deal. We're going to do this maybe 2 or 3 times in the next few years before they get to their lowest rate.
Cool. So we got into a little bit of like winning the appointment, which is going to be next call, because the first phase of sales is landing appointments, right? And just like what we've uncovered is that often we will go to the lowest barrier, least rejectable thing, which is to send somebody an email. Now, I will tell you, your probably highest loan amount borrowers, your highest income borrowers, they're probably buried. Okay. So if you want my attention, you've got to book me, pin me down, and stare me in the eyes, and then you've got my full attention. If you send me an email, I'm like the IRS. You might get responded to 45 days from now. Okay. So Kevin's laughing at me. It's the truth. Like I have this filter, like text messages first, probably DMs on Instagram is second, Teams chats is third, email is fourth. And you know how many email boxes I have? 4, right? So just know how people work and what's going on, which is why a friendly video text is really helpful. Now, if you have not booked any appointments with your past clients because you've just been so focused on chasing realtors or whatever, you could simply send a text tomorrow to 150 past clients that just says, hey, I know it's been a long time. I just want to say Happy New Year. Hope you and your family are really well. My phone is blowing up because the beginning of the year is starting great and rates are low. I'll be watching out for you and thinking about you, but save my contact in case you need anything. And it could be Bill Gaylord, mortgage guy. Okay. So now you've at least come back into people's lives this way. And I mean, I can't even tell you. Now, not everybody is like this, but how many of you are down to 0 people? Like your text messages, you want to respond to every single text message, unless it's spam. How many of you are like, you ghost half the people that text you? Okay, so I don't know. So thank you, Rachel. My husband's kind of like that too. And he's like really gregarious. He's afraid to be late. He wants everyone to like him, but yet he just won't respond to text messages. I'm like, how do you do that? Like I respond to everyone. Again, it might take a while, but that's just how I go. So people are going to be different. Don't question it. But the more you can get memorable and they see your face and you give an imprint, the less you're wasting your time. You're being more effective. Okay. On an ongoing basis, annual review calls. If you set people up front and say, hey, I like to meet with my clients once a year. Here's why. Your mortgage is the largest debt you'll likely manage your entire life. Okay. And if you are using debt properly, see, the secret to getting rich is using OPI, OPE, and OPM. Other people's ideas, other people's efforts, and other people's money. And when you get a mortgage, you're using someone else's money. It's leverage so that you can structure your goals. This is the largest debt you're going to manage. So I have clients that over a 15-year time period, they start on a 30-year fixed. Then they want to go to a 15-year and really pound out that principal. Then they get to retirement age and they want to expand back out to a 30-year fixed. Or then they send a kid off to college. Or then they want to do an addition to their home because they've got an aging parent that they want to have in the home. Or they want to add that swimming pool because now their kids are 7, 8, 9 years old. This is the beauty of this debt. The way you're going to manage it over your lifetime is going to change based on your season of life and your goals. And so I'm going to help you figure out how to best manage that. And I'm going to watch the market for you because the market's moving every single day with mortgage-backed securities. And it doesn't always make sense to restructure that debt, but sometimes it does. Because you might have started a business and started that business on a credit card at 19% interest. And now all of a sudden you've got this $500,000 of equity in your house, but you've got $50,000 on a credit card at 19%. So these are just all things that I work with my clients on over time. If you're saying that in the pre-approval meeting and you're framing them about who you are and how you help manage debt, all future meetings and conversations are totally different. Yes or no? So it doesn't matter what you've said in the past, it's what you start saying today in that very first conversation, that very first pre-approval meeting. And so you could set yourself up for that. When it is an annual review call, if you're coming up upon somebody's annual review and it's the first 3 years of having a mortgage, your primary reason for meeting is honestly to get a referral. You're probably not going to refinance that person, but they still remember you. They still have fond memories about the house. Like, why wouldn't you want to spend 15 minutes with somebody who knows you and has watched you work to say, hey, who else in your company needs to be buying a house? You know, the average first-time home buyer right now is 40 years old. Who do you know? I only work with referrals. And just the fact that, Leanne, you are so awesome. I want to work with awesome people that you know. You know that if you referred me your brother, you referred me your grandmother, I would take exceptional care of them. You know that, right? Yes, I would. Okay, great. Based on your mortgage, it looks good to me, but has something changed in your life that I need to know about? Debt-wise, goals-wise, kids-wise, family expansion, anything? Nope, everything's the same. You like your house, school district's good, sweet, right? So there's no wasted time if you're in relationship and you're continuing to say, who else do you know? Is everybody clear on that? And can you imagine coming in every week and having 5 past client meetings and they're 15 minutes long? Like that they're joyful meetings. These people like you. You're not even selling anything, right? Ben, I love you in the chat. Thank you for your enthusiasm, and I'm here with it too. So a lot of this just has to be systems. You have to talk about it in the beginning. Then you have to build a sequence in your system. So when they hit the 1 year, you send them a text that says, hey, you've hit a year. Remember, it's always good to look at your largest debt, your mortgage, figure out where you're sitting. And I just want to connect. Can we please book 15 minutes? Send them your Calendly link. Okay. Now, if rates have dropped, I'm going to hound them to get the meeting because they need to have a meeting because I think it's more important. But otherwise, I might passively ask for the appointment that way. Any other questions around landing meetings with the client bucket, the sphere bucket? Last thing I'll say, do not offer to go give somebody an email. Is everybody clear on that? Don't see somebody at your hairdresser and say, oh, we've got this fabulous program about medical program and blah, 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 blah. Let me send you an email. What happens with emails? Stop offering that. Okay. An email is a follow-up to a face-to-face meeting. Yes. It's a follow-up. It's not your sales leader. It's the follow-up. It says, hey, you just came to our economic forecast yesterday. Shayla talked about the new physician's loan we have that's 100% financing. It's good for this doctor and this doctor and this doctor and this doctor and this doctor. And it's good for pharmacists. And oh my gosh, I think this could be huge for us this year. Here's an idea of a text you could send to your database. Here's an idea of a video you could make for social media. Here's the details on the product. That is a valuable email, yes or no? And guess what? I'm going to then call those people and FaceTime and say, hey, did you see my email on that doctor loan? And that FaceTime is a meeting. That's a face-to-face because I got your attention. So when do we send emails, everybody? Kevin said they won't get answered for 45 days. And then what happens, Kevin, is after 45 days, I go, well, this is probably not even an issue. They're going to think I'm weird when I respond to them by now. Okay. So you meet somebody and they want to know information about down payment assistance. They want to know bond programs. Get comfortable saying, hey, let's just set a 10-minute meeting. You're busy. I'm busy. We'll block the time on the calendar. We'll jump on a Zoom meeting and we'll talk about it. Give them your Calendly link. I'm telling you, every single one of you can go onto Calendly, get this set up, and it's not hard to do. And you can start filling your calendar by saying, here, you could open it up with them and say, here's all the 10-minute slots I got tomorrow. What time works better for you? Mornings or afternoons? Which day doesn't work this week for you? You can open up your booking page and you can enter in their information for them. So how do you get appointments? You lock people down for appointments. You offer an appointment first and always, and that's it. You are a salesperson that works from appointment to appointment to appointment. You are not a professional emailer that just provides a bunch of email and text messages. Is everybody clear on that? That one shift changes everything, okay? And then it's a lot more fun to actually have a real meeting. All right. Jerome says it interfaces with our guild calendar. Yes, it'll interface right with your Outlook. There's a way to use Outlook where you can book through Outlook. There's a way you can use a Salesforce link and book it. I use Calendly because it's commonly known. And I have all different types of meetings, right? So I have a 20-minute meet and greet meeting. I'm just going to my Calendly on my phone. I've got all the different types of meetings that I've programmed in here. So I've got a Shayla meet and greet 20 minutes. So when I have new people start around the country on Team Shayla, that's the one I send because it's a meet and greet. It's 20 minutes. It's a Zoom call. The next one is a Catalyst interest. It's a 10-minute call. So when somebody's wanted to potentially join Catalyst and they get 10 minutes on my call, that's what they get. So the name of the meeting is also indicative of how long is the meeting and what the heck are we talking about, right? Like if that's not defined, especially for a busy person like me, I'm going to be like, eh. But if you're like, I need 10 minutes and here's what we're doing in the 10 minutes, I'll give you 10 minutes every day because you asked me something very specific. So a key thing about landing an appointment is because it's the way you work. Write it down. I do appointments because it's the way I work. It's the most valuable. And I'm clear about the length and the structure of the meeting. What am I asking for? Am I asking for 5 minutes on FaceTime? Am I asking for 10 minutes on Zoom? Am I asking for a 30-minute meeting, a 45-minute meeting, a 30-minute, whatever it is? But be specific because when somebody rejects you, you need to be able to say, I offered something specific and that specific thing didn't work. It wasn't me that they're rejecting. It was my offer that they are rejecting. It could be that I asked for a meeting this week. Like if you were to say, hey, Shayla, can you meet with me this week? I'm a very busy person. It's not going to work. But if you say, Shay, can I meet you in 3 weeks from today? I need 15 minutes. I've got this brilliant idea. And it would mean a world if I could get your attention to hear it. I'm going to say yes, because you asked me 3 weeks from today. I don't have a good excuse for that. You poured your heart out. You are clear. You're only asking for 15 minutes. Anybody that asked me for that, I'd give it to them. Okay, unless they were just slimy asshole, then I'm going to say no. So you'll get better at booking appointments when you're super clear about what they are. You connect the value to that person and you just say, this is the way I work. The next step is we book an appointment. Oh, here's what we'll do. We'll book an appointment. Oh, easy. I do this appointment every other day. No problem. I help you with people all the time. We do this appointment. People will follow your process if you have a process. Everybody clear on that? All right, cool. So get the Calendly set up. That's super helpful because it's much easier also to send somebody a link than they can go in and do it. And by the way, it emails you when they book. So, like I had a guy on Instagram respond to my "we're hiring" the other day. Actually, he put a comment on my Instagram. And so I sent him a private message. I go, hey, were you serious? He's a firefighter. And I'm like, were you serious about getting your mortgage loan officer license? And he's like, yeah, I've been thinking about it for a long time. And then I asked my sister, I'm like, how's this dude got 400,000 followers on Instagram? Who is this dude? And she goes, oh, he was on The Bachelor. And I'm like, all right. So I said, well, if you're serious, I'd love to meet with you. I talk to anybody who is interested in our industry. And I sent him my Calendly link. And if he books, great. If he doesn't, I don't care. No skin off my back. Does that make sense? And he booked. So I'll end up meeting with him whenever in a couple weeks. Okay. So what was the big takeaway from that on past clients, CCRs, and booking appointments so far? I want to lock in what we learned. And then the rest of this 15 minutes will all be scripting for agents. Put it in the chat. What did you need to hear? Where are you going to turn up your process? Roxy, advice on how to shift people who are used to just calling whenever to get them to book on the calendar. Roxy, will you come off mute?
Hi,
Hi.
Hi. Oh,
Uh-oh, your microphone isn't working either today. Can you sit closer to it and try again?
Are we working now?
Yes, working great.
Hey, success. So I'm newish still in mortgage, couple years in, and I just let people call me freaking whenever, real, like you're answering the phone as you do when you start. So how do you lovingly teach these people like, hey, I want to be efficient, effective, love on you, and make sure I've got dedicated time? Because they call and expect you to like answer whenever. So how, and that's my fault. Like I can recognize that I created this situation. So what's a good way to lovingly tell them book a damn call?
Okay. First of all, how many of you would say I'm newish in the business? Raise your hand. Okay, stop it. If you've been doing this longer than 90 days, just stop it. Because if I go to anyone's business, the only time I expect them to tell me they're new is if it's their like first 3 days.
Fair
Because
enough.
you're really screwy. You're like, I'm sorry, it's my first day here, right? Like, and it brings like a lot of compassion. But if you're
Yeah.
like, I'm newish, I'm 3 years doing this, that is a shitty thing to say. So stop it. You're done with that, Roxy. Okay. You're here, you've survived, you know people, you know the problems that need to be solved, you know how to go resource the answers, you'll work hard, you'll like, so the new thing doesn't work anymore.
No.
What you're saying though is I'm coming from a place of scarcity, which by the way, you could be 25 years and still coming from a place of scarcity, which
Right.
is I respond to emails really fast and I'm just chaos and I'm all over the place and I don't have a rhyme or reason and I don't have a way of doing business.
Yes.
So ideally, when people are referring you business, you have taught them how to refer you business. So do you want a three-way text or do you want an email? And what does the template look like? Do you want them to copy the client or not copy the client? The reason this is the way you do business is so A, you don't lose any leads. B, you have the quickest follow-up. C, you get the best attention from the client to respond.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, you guys, yesterday I talked to an agent who's 40 years in the business, and she's like, I've worked with Jennifer for 19 years, and I used to work for her solely. But then I switched brokerages, and they told me I had to give out 3 cards. And I was like, that's so frustrating, Carol. Um, I said, in 40 years, have you ever known anyone to get nailed for steering? She's like, no. I said, well, I've been doing this for 21 years. I've never, ever known anyone to get nailed for steering. And she was like, you're right. And so we went into this conversation. So anyway, this is what we've got to do in today's day and age to rock the boat with people. So
Yeah.
specifically, what call is knocking you off track that you want to make from a call to an appointment? Give me an example.
So I have realtors who I taught this behavior to, right? They'll call and I just answer, or
Uh-huh.
past clients. And again, that's when back in the day when I was new, not new anymore, that's how I operated because you're like, oh shit, I'm new. I need to get some deals going. So my goal, I now use a calendar link and I'll send those to people and they still aren't booking. So how do I lovingly say like, hey, I don't do that anymore? I like what you said about I want to provide good service, but they're under the impression that service means instant because that's how
Okay.
they operate their business. You know what I
Right,
mean?
because
They're in
they're
a
in
scarcity
scarcity too.
place. Yeah.
So I will, responsiveness is a great strategy. Okay. Like you could be fast or easy to work with, and that's called easy to work with and
Yeah.
probably fast, right? Um, I would always give this amount of time and then say, oh, you know what? I'm walking into a signing, or I've got a client in the lobby, or I've got a Zoom starting in 3 minutes. So that I'm clear about how much time that I have.
Yeah.
And then I want to know what their high level problem is so that I can say, well, the next step is boom, right?
Okay.
So if they say, I need you to dig into the Jones file and blah, 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 and you're like, okay, that's going to take me 30 minutes of work, maybe 45. I've got a time block open this afternoon at 3 o'clock. I'll put it on my calendar for 3 o'clock. And if something derails me, I promise I'll call you back by 6 p.m. Does that work for
Beautiful.
you?
Yeah. Love that.
Great.
Okay.
You're off the phone in 3 minutes. Then you can go back to the time block that you were on to book appointments, or you can, stay focused on what you were doing. When you
Mhm.
have a problem, it's probably still going to be on fire in 2 hours. So the problem with loan officers is that we just jump to the problems and we don't stay focused on hitting our goals and targets for appointment setting.
Yes.
So this is where I do manage efficiency. I look at the time always of how long I was on the phone with somebody. Like if I talk to somebody and I'm taking a phone app, I'll be like, boom, 9 minutes. But if it needed 19, I would give it 19 to get the result I wanted. But if you're more and more focused, you'll find like, oh, in 3 minutes, yesterday I was on the phone with a builder and had a earth-shattering, great, badass conversation, 13 minutes. Okay. And this is the owner of a builder. And we went a lot of places in 13 minutes. Now I probably won't have 13 minutes with him for another 6 months. I don't need it. He doesn't need it, but we did it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So it's always the next step is with real estate agents, you are trying to figure out how you can help them make more money. Full stop.
Yeah.
That's it. So you're trying to figure out what their goals are, what they need in their business, who they work with and what gaps they have, and where you can fill the hole. That's it. So that when I ask for an appointment, I come out with it. I say, so here we go. Let's talk about a listing agent. Okay. So Kevin, you're my listing agent. When I first get a contract, I'm calling Kevin right off the bat and I'm loving on him with congratulations. This listing is beautiful. How, did you have to compete hard for this listing or is this a past client? How do you know these people? Has it been challenging? Did it sell right away? I mean, it's gorgeous. Did you stage it? Like, great job. Why? Because no one is patting them on the back all day. They're running around in their car. They're running frantic. They come home to tell their husband, yeah, I got a showing request, and they don't care. But so we can give them that attention. And then you need to say, this is the way I work. Okay. You guys getting that language again? This is my way. Here's the way I work, Kevin. Every Tuesday, I'm going to reach out to you for a Tuesday update so you know a status of this loan always. What I hear over and over again is listing agents always are left in the dark by lenders. And that is not going to happen with me because my goal is that A, I impress the heck out of you and earn business from you in the future. But B, really, I want your seller to be so happy that you earn extra referrals from your seller. And if I can keep you apprised of what's going on, I can keep this loan on track. You always have updates you can give to your seller. We're all going to win. Does that work for you? And I'm telling you, almost always they're like, wow, nobody ever gives me updates, right? And when they say that, then you say, well, listen, if I make my promise and close on time and update you every week, can I earn the right to buy you a cup of coffee when this closes? Full stop. Can I earn the right to buy you a cup of coffee? Buying somebody something, it's like makes you feel really special. Like, oh, you want to buy something for me, right? So that's if you want to go do an old school face-to-face over a cup of coffee, which by the way, is how I grew my business from 20 million to 40 million to 80 million to 100 million. And we're going to talk about how to dominate that coffee appointment next month. Okay. So we're not just having friend meetings that go nowhere. Okay. But, listing agents are really, really important because guess what? They're the ones that get your pre-approval letters over. They're the ones that are selling to that seller. Hey, this is a guild pre-approval. These guys back their pre-approvals. They pre-underwrite their pre-approvals. I know they want a seller credit and I know they want DPA, but you can count on these people getting it closed. This is what a listing agent told me yesterday at our economic forecast event at the very beginning of our event. She goes, Shayla, I was so thankful that I got a guild pre-approval on this listing because my people did not want to accept it, but I was able to sell hard on you guys. Now, I don't even think she refers us to any buyers, but do we still win deals because listing agents know us, trust us, and like us and understand our process? 100% of the time. And guess what? When your buyer's agent goes to a listing agent and says, hey, I've got a XYZ pre-approval, my loan officer is Melissa Carson, and that listing agent's like, oh, I know Melissa. I am so happy you work with Melissa. Hell yes, let's do this thing. Is your buyer's agent now referring you more business? Yes. So there's no wasted meeting. A lot of times people go, why am I calling listing agents? They don't deal with buyers. Bullshit. Everybody who sells a house, they're going to try to do something with the buyers. So you're always building your brand and reputation. And when I meet with Kevin, let's say he's like, look, I probably do 6 listings a year. They're all past clients. All my clients are cash. Great. Well, Kevin, you've been doing this a long time and you're really well respected. Do you know these two people in your office? Okay, so the second thing. So that's listing agents. You set the stage up front to ask for the opportunity. When the deal closes on time, you call and say, Kevin, I did what I said I was going to do. Were you happy that I updated you and your transaction coordinator? Can I earn the right to buy you a cup of coffee? How about this week or next week? Okay, A or B. Always A or B. Don't say, can we meet for coffee? They can say no. Don't ask a yes, no question. Kevin, did I earn the right to buy you a cup of coffee? He's going to say, yeah, you earned the right. Does this week work or next week work? A or B? Do you want Chinese food or Mexican? It doesn't say, do you want to take me on a date tonight? It says, which one do you want to take me on a date to? Right? Salespeople have to ask A or B questions and the assumptive close. Okay. I'm so excited to meet with you. I want to learn about your business. Can we meet on Thursday or does next Tuesday work better for you? Daniel, what's your question?
Just a quick question. One of the things I've run into with my business is setting that stage up front, and then calling, and then the follow through at the end of calling them on closing day or the day before or whatever, to get that meeting. And I'm finding a lot of them just will not answer the phone that day or return the call or anything of the
That's
sort,
fine.
almost like they know it's coming. Um, is there a way that you found to be able to kind of overcome that, or just continue the follow up on
No,
it after the
just,
fact?
okay. You can control other people and how lame they are. Okay. Serious. And I guarantee if you do that, if you seriously do this, because here's what happens, Daniel, most people will try it and then two work out great. One person ghosts them, they get weird about it and they stop trying it. Okay. This is the way you do business and you do it every single time, every single way. Some will, some won't. So what next? Now, if I really want to pursue this person, I'm going to be silly about it. Why not? It's already a no. So I'm going to call them and say, earned it. Or I'm going to call them and say, oh, urgent. I have an update on 123 Main Street. They'll fucking call you. And then they call you, go, I got you. Haha, I closed on time. Did I earn the right to buy you a cup of coffee? Like, seriously, I will bring it to your office. Give me 15 minutes, or do you want to meet at Starbucks and have a proper 45? What's better for you? Okay. So that just play around with it. Then do a selfie video. I mean, whatever the case is, go for the no. You guys are not getting no's. You're just not asking. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I would love for you to say, man, I've gotten so many no's over the last 30 days because I've just been asking every single person for an appointment. Great. That's the game right there. Okay. So cold calls. This is the game changer. Cold calls. Anna Brown, you're going to call David. Okay. David, he closes 25 buyer sites. Okay. So I'm going to call David and say, David, this is Anna Brown over at Gill Mortgage. You do not know me directly. I am straight up cold calling you. And I hate cold calls. So this says a lot. But I'm calling you because honestly, you seem like a guy that really takes your business seriously, that does a great job for your clients. All of the reviews I've read have blown me away. And here you are answering the phone, which almost no realtors ever answer the phone. Right? Right away, he's like, man, this person's playful. They're confident. They're just direct. And then he's like, all right, well, what do you want, Anna? And you're like, I need to meet other players. Like, I did $20 million in business this year. I want to double. I want to find the people who want a hustler on their team. I'm sure you've got a great loan officer already, but you're always going to need a backup. And I've got new products coming out of my ears that I think could make you some money. Would you be open-minded meeting me for 30 minutes? I'll come to your office. I'll come to a listing, or we'll meet for coffee. Which work for you? Okay. Game recognizes game. How many of you salespeople love to be sold? When you meet a good salesperson, you're like, woo, that was good. We love it. We love it. We honor it. We're like, damn, I'm proud of you. That's badass. Every single salesperson's afraid of being rejected to some degree and is trying to find the easiest way to get there. And I'm telling you, a straight up cold call will impress people. And the people that are closing 25, 30 deals and are working them with that many buyers, they're probably pretty good at answering their phone. Okay. Make it easy for them to meet with you. Find out when their sales meetings are if they go to their sales meetings. Find out where their kids go to school and meet them at the Starbucks right by the school drop off. Like, get gritty and creative. People love eagerness. Just be straight up with it. I want to see if we can make some money together this year. Even if I help one person with one of these specialty products I got that's out of the box, I've got a jumbo with 3% down. Like, and I'm really fun to work with. I happen to be really good at this. I want you to meet me. You just play with people, right? You guys are not smiling anymore. Does this make you very uncomfortable? I just said cold call. Oh my gosh, it's a cold call, right? But seriously, people, this is a career where you can be a college dropout and earn $1 million a year or $500,000 a year. You can do crazy cool shit if you are willing to just be a little crazy on the phone. Send a little crazy selfie video. Would your kids be proud of you to hear you pick up the phone and make that cold call and have a fuck it attitude? Why not? They would be proud of you. So once a day, do something that's just a little bit crazy for you. Okay? Like, could be send a Calendly link. Great question. I got 3 minutes. Like, for some of you, that's like already making you freak out. But this is how you grow, is by stretching your comfort zone. Okay? So make the appointment easy. Know what you're asking for. Be clear and direct what we're going to be talking about. And listen, go for the backup position. Assume that they all have somebody awesome. Guess what? They don't. Go listen to my podcast today with Allison Larson. We talk about this exact thing, the questions that we ask so that we can have business conversations. That's more about once you're in the meeting. But Justin Williams, you were on the phone with me this morning and you said, I want 5 face-to-faces a week. Is that too many? No, we're in sales. Should be having like 3 a day. They could be 3 FaceTimes. They could be 3 15-minute Zooms. They could be 3 coffee appointments. When I was really building, sometimes I'd be at Starbucks for 3 hours in a row. Literally, one person comes in, I have a meeting, I go out the back door, I come in the front door, have another. First meeting is coffee. The second meeting is hot tea. Third meeting is just hot water. And I'll just stay there, right? So how bad do you want it? If this is the year that has to happen for you, you've got to book appointments. There's just no 2 ways about it. So everybody, I put Katie a little sticky on Katie's monitor. Everybody's monitor needs a sticky note that says, I make calls to book appointments. I do not email for a living and I do not text for a living. I make calls to book appointments. Roxy, your smile and just goodness is just, everyone needs more of you in their life. Okay. Thank you for letting me be rough on you. You guys, thanks for showing up, listening to the podcast, being in my Catalyst community, doing the work, filling out this stuff in your sales attack book. I promise you these small shifts can absolutely transform your business. On a scale of 1 to 10, how useful was this? Put it in the chat and feel free to come off mute and send the love around. I'm gonna take a look. Thank you guys. Look at all the love in the chat. I didn't even see it happening. Yay. Oh, 20. Come on. You guys are so fun. See, you're all salespeople. You're stroking me now. You're good at this. Just go stroke people a little bit more and ask for an appointment. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank
Love you all.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Shayla. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Shayla.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Shayla.
Thank you. See ya.